Yeah, I have the Wacom Cintiq Hybrid, which is the it's a big Android tablet with Wacom technology in it, and so you have the pen and all that kind of stuff like that, and it's really nice. But I just couldn't bridge the gap between having a tablet, the drawing tablet on the desk, and then looking up at the screen. It just, the hand-eye coordination thing there just wasn't there. I like to draw directly on the screen, and so
Yeah, I would always feel like I was drifting at an angle, or it was
yeah.
a very strange feeling.
Yeah, and that's I'd have to say we're going to talk more about this tomorrow night on Corona Geek After Dark. But I'd have to say that that's one of the things that the pencil brings, and the iPad. I'll just say the iPad Pro and the pencil because you can't use the pencil on anything else but the iPad Pro. And the iPad Pro, as good as it is, doesn't work as well with the old school stylus, right? So like palm rejection doesn't work as well, even though it's phenomenal, and your precision isn't all as well. And oh, by the way, there are apps that are not really optimized for iPad Pro yet. So like, I tried Zendesk, not Zendesk. That's a whole different thing. ZenBrush on the iPad Pro, and it seemed to have some lag and some parallax. Where the tip of the device is shifted from where you're actually drawing, and that was even standing in the Apple Store using an Apple Pencil on an iPad Pro using ZenBrush. So I was like, well, maybe they should have loaded up something better like Procreate that would have, demos the tool better. But as far as drawing a line, so there's usually things like parallax that people experience on different devices. There's drawing a straight line, which sounds like a simple thing to do, but on other devices, if you draw a straight line very slow, you get this wiggle line. You don't get that on the iPad Pro. It's a straight line. And then the other thing is that once you've laid down a line, like on a sketch, if you want to go back over and draw over that line, sort of, pull out the lines that you like, typically it's hard to hit that line on other devices, past generation devices, because it's like you just can't quite get the accuracy that you want. And with the iPad Pro, I have no problem drawing a straight line that's not curvy or not wavy, and then hitting a line that I've previously drawn, drawing over something, whatever. It's very precise. It's pretty cool. So. Well, hey, we didn't come here to talk about iPad Pro. We will talk about that tomorrow night on Corona Geek After Dark. So join us at 8 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. Today, we're here for Corona Geek. Welcome back, and we're going to talk about our desktop development series. We've been developing a game for the desktop. I think we're 6 or 7 episodes in now. If you haven't already, go to youtube.com/coronageek. You can check out all the previous episodes that were there. We've been pretty much in line. We've stayed. We haven't jumped in and done any sort of developer interviews or anything in the middle, apart from the thing that we did last time with Ed, sort of on the fly. Ed announced his new game, and we kind of rabbit trailed into a whole conversation there. But for the most part, we've stayed on topic, and we've done everything from how to set up your project, how to do inputs from different devices like mouse, keyboard, what have you. We've looked at the game, we've got third-party assets, just all the things that you would want to know in a desktop game, and can also apply to mobile development, which Corona SDK is great for cross-platform. And I don't know, even is that really considered? I mean, when we say cross-platform, we're really talking about iOS, Android, Windows, blah blah blah. So we're still, when we're crossing desktop and mobile, we're still kind of cross-platform, right? I mean, you could call that a platform, right?
Sure,
Same,
yeah.
in the same sense. So it's still all very cross-platform. Joining us today is Ed Marina from roaminggamer.com.
Oh yeah.
And also Stephen Johnson from zibalbastudios.com. All right. So Ed, does anybody? Well, first of all, do you guys have any announcements? No. Yeah. No. How's the game going, Ed? Did you officially launch? Is it
Yeah,
like?
we officially launched. It's completely out there and available. It's got about somewhere between 150 200 downloads so far.
Okay.
So, which is good. That's it's not the million that I was hoping for, but maybe this week. It's gotten one retweet from one of our target group, which is we created two themes. We created several themes, but there's two themes that come for free with the game to start with, and one of them is the YouTubers theme, and that includes 8 different YouTube guys. All guys, sorry. We didn't put any of the ladies in there, but it seems like guys do more of the Let's Plays, and we put Let's Plays in there. Anyways, we got a retweet from Rockley Smile, who is one of our featured YouTuber theme individuals, and that was nice. And so we're just looking for it. I won't tell you how many millions of dollars we made this week because it wasn't in millions, but it's all good.
I would think that the hardest part about, I think that, first of all, I think the YouTuber integration, right, rolling them into the app, I think is genius. It seems like the hardest part of that, though, would be letting them know about it because they have, they get so many comments and there's so much for them to kind of sift through that you have to get their attention.
That is true. That is. Mike has done a lot of work on that, and it is in fact true that it was a lot of digging to get the contact information for these people and to get the contact, get the notices to them. And then we still don't know if they've gotten the notices, if they've spam foldered those, or what's going on there. So.
Have you guys considered doing a kind of a guerrilla marketer sprint campaign where you do some advertising directly to that YouTuber, right? I've seen campaigns in the past that do blitzes. Like one guy ran, and of course there's a cost associated with it. I'm not saying there's not, but depending on what platform you're on, you can manage that in different ways. But I've seen blitzes where, like Toby Turner, for example, somebody wanted to get in touch with him, and so they just basically ran an ad on YouTube, and they were kind of like, hey Toby, get in touch with us.
Hey Toby, get in touch with us. The ad.
Yeah.
I gotta write that down.
Yeah. And then I'll send you a link, but I've seen other references too going on things like LinkedIn or places where you can say, like, I only want to target the friends of friends, and then you get all their friends talking about this thing. Man, when I go to LinkedIn, all I see is this ad for you. What is up with that, right? And that's enough people go talk to this person about it, and the person goes checks it out, and then you reach the goal of what you want to do was to reach the original person.
That's very funny. I like it.
Yeah, so some creative hacks out there. So anyway, cool. Well, cool. Yeah, keep us updated on it. Any Coronium issues or anything? Having a couple hundred people on the server?
No issues there. I mean, there's still a bug. It's not in Coronium though. I'm pretty sure there's a bug in OpenResty. So Coronium supports a feature where you can cache or uncache. So when you're doing development, you're modifying your scripts, you have everything running in uncached mode. And then once you are ready to release, I'm sorry, part of my brain is engaged in thinking about what we're going to talk about today. Once you get ready to release, you want to set caching mode. And what that does is the first time any script gets loaded, it stays in memory forever. And so that way you don't have to do disk accesses every time you want to launch a new script, which is launched, of course, every time somebody accesses your server. And so you're many-fold faster. But the problem is that we uncovered this kind of interesting bug where if you are getting multiple requests from the same client for the same record within a certain period of time, you will get a conflict on the network address. And what it is, I haven't quite worked it out yet, but something to do with the status of the connection. It's basically something that's getting kept in memory from the last time that function call executed, and it's illegal and crashes that response, and then you're doomed.
Huh.
I mean, it eventually times out, and then the server doesn't die or anything, and that user can continue to do other things, but that one request they made just basically hangs for a few seconds, and then they finally get a response. And so what we were seeing in our game was when we turned on caching, Every once in a while, when somebody would start a multiplayer game, it'd be like nothing. It would just hang for a minute. Like it wouldn't start the game. It wouldn't give you any indication that it had gone on to the next step, and we couldn't figure out what was going on. And then suddenly you'd get this response, and the response was, I couldn't do what you wanted me to do, basically. And that's not exactly what it said, but that's the essence of it. So it was like, what? It's pulling my hair out for a long time. And then I finally dug into it, and it's kind of like this open resty problem. So